What's up? Welcome. Welcome back to Fueled by Plants. Yo, I love this song. Just my foolish pride, baby. You got me on my knees. Calling on my knees, baby. Yo, the intro song is Layla by Derek and the Dominoes. This is like my favorite rock song right here. I had to put the shades on. Listen to that guitar. Can't tell me it's like the best rock song ever. Intro song. Baby, you got me on my knees. Made me want to start singing, man. Watch the beat switch though. Don't worry about to get up into it. I got a good reaction video for y'all today. Watch that beat switch though. Hold up. That guitar crazy. This Derek and the Dominoes. The song name is Layla. That's my favorite rock song. I'm just waiting for that beat switch, then we're gonna jump into it. Man, where the beat switch at? Man, you can't tell me that beat switch ain't hard, bro. Yo. Watch when the beat come in though. Watch when it come in. Man, y'all stop it, man. Y'all don't know real music. That's some real music for me. I remember Lil Wayne said one time, he was like, I don't even listen to rap. I listen to every other genre. All right. Because that's where the inspiration come from. You can't get no inspiration from rap these days. All we got to listen to is Glorilla and Meg the Stallion. I'll pass. All right. I'll pass. All right. Let's get into it though. So today's video that we're reacting to, as you can see in the title, Bryan Johnson, his vegan top picks for protein. If you don't know who Bryan Johnson is, he is a millionaire, a tech millionaire, right? Who just kind of recently got popular over the last year or two. He's a millionaire, and basically he kind of changed his life. And he calls himself the first longevity athlete. So he's trying to live forever. Basically, that's what he's trying to do. He's trying to live forever. Because when you really think about it, the only reason that we get old and get sick and die is because our telomeres get shorter. The telomeres in our body get shorter, and that's what causes us to get old. That's why the collagen in our skin gets old and gets dated. It's because our telomeres, and he's trying to find a way to live forever, basically, right? And if you think about it, even 50, 60, 70 years ago, think about 100 years ago, people lived to be about 50. Now people live to be about 80. So it's not out of the realm of possibilities, is what I'm saying. So basically this video I'm reacting to is him talking about his top protein picks. And we're going to see what he's talking about, see if he really know. And obviously he's vegan too. right? That's why I started following him, because he's vegan and he's a pretty fit guy. So we're gonna get into it. I might pop up another one of his videos that's super popular too, but we're gonna get into his philosophy a little bit. Let's see what he's talking about.
We got to talk about protein shakes.
Yeah.
What's your opinion?
Yeah, so I consume 120 grams of protein per day, thereabouts. And that is enough for me to be top 1% per day,
He
thereabouts.
jumped straight into it.
Yeah, so I consume 120 grams of protein per day, thereabouts. And that is enough for me to be top 1% optimal in muscle mass and cardiovascular ability and metabolic health. It is very common to think you need 150, 200, 250. It's not required. So I've demonstrated.
So that's something right there that needs to be spoken about. You know, and I've said this in the past. A lot of people say it in the past. A lot of people in the fitness industry talk about this. Talk about the amount of protein that you need. And as a vegan, this is very important. So if you're vegan, if you're not vegan, thinking about going vegan, this is very important information right here. So a lot of people think you need to eat 200, 250 grams of protein every day to build muscle or maintain muscle as a vegan, or just as someone who wants to maintain muscle. And where this common theme came from is from the bodybuilding community, right? The bodybuilding community, because the reason why they eat so much protein is because it wasn't no research back in the 70s, 80s, and 90s. It wasn't that much research. So they was just trying to bombard themselves with protein, and it kind of stick. So it's called kind of like bro science. If you go to any gym, you ask any dude in there, how much protein should you get? Oh, 2 grams of protein per pound of body weight, when it's actually a false statement. All you need, and what he just said was a little bit lower than what I recommend, but the amount of protein you need is 0.8 grams of protein per pound of body weight. If you get 0.8 grams of protein per pound of body weight, you will be able to build muscle and maintain muscle, no matter if you're eating plants, if you're eating whatever you're eating. If you get 0.8 grams of protein per pound of body weight, you will be able to maintain and build muscle. Now, the reason why people say go a little bit higher, and the reason why I say go a little bit higher, like 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight. For example, if you're 100 pounds, you want to get 100 grams of protein. The reason why I say that is because on a lot of these food labels, so if you go to the store and you pick up a box of whatever, and if you look on the back and it says 5 grams of protein, the FDA is legally required to be able to go a little bit higher or a little bit lower, 20% higher or 20% lower. What does that mean? If you see something and you look on the back of a package and it says 5 grams of protein in this food, the FDA is legally not required to be 100% accurate, because nobody can be 100% accurate anyway. So if it says 5 grams of protein, it can be 3. If it says 5, it could be 7, if that makes sense. I hope that's making sense, right? So that's why I say go a little bit higher, but all you really need is 0.8 grams. And especially if you're eating whole foods, real foods, you're getting everything that you need. So what he's saying right here is actually facts. He may go a little bit lower than me. Like I get 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight. Like I make sure I'm 180 pounds right now. I make sure I get about 180 grams of protein. But what he's saying, he's going a lot lower than that. But let's keep listening to him.
That you can be reasonable on the protein intake, have optimal biomarkers across the board. If like my son consumes more protein than that because he's trying to bulk up and he's also 19. So there are exceptions to this, but generally speaking, a lot of people overconsume protein.
Can we break down this protein situation a little more? You're vegan.
I am.
It's an assumption that one can't get the protein requirements hit through a vegan diet.
Yeah.
I'd assume that you argue against that point.
Yeah. So I am vegan. I do caloric restriction, which means I consume less than the recommended daily allowance. I consume 2,250 calories a day. I exercise for 1 hour a day. And I have a low protein intake, according to cultural norms of 120, 130. And so most people say with that profile, I would be weak. I would be not able to compete athletically. But actually, my muscle and body fat are top 1% optimal, and my cardiovascular ability top 1.5% of 18-year-olds. So my biomarkers say it's top 1% optimal. So it's an example.
Listen to what he just said right there. And I'm gonna show a video where he's tracking all of this data so people can know that he's really tracking all this data. But what he said right there was his muscle mass and his bone density is at the top 0.99% of people on the planet. So he's in the top 1% of all people on the planet when it comes to muscle mass and bone density and strength. And he only gets 120 grams of protein. And I'm not sure how much he weighs. If I'm just looking at him, he probably weighs about 160 pounds. So that means he's getting probably about 0.6 or 0.7 grams of protein. So he's not even getting the recommended amount, and his muscle mass and his strength profile is the top 1% of people on the planet. So it's very shocking to hear if you believe mainstream media. If you believe mainstream media tell you that you can't get protein from a plant-based diet. But based on what he's just saying right here, he can get it, and he is in the top 1% of everyone on the planet. So let's
example that I've defied all cultural norms, and I'm still a top performer.
Gotcha. I don't think there's anyone more qualified to speak about protein intake-based requirements or food-based requirements than you, because of your daily experimentation and your daily download of data from your own body. Can you break down some of the vegan protein sources that are your go-tos?
Yeah. Yep. So I'll caveat and say, of course.
Okay, this is what I'm trying to get to. He's going over the vegan protein sources. I'm trying to debunk or talk. Let's see what he's talking about. I want to see what protein.
Like the advice varies according to male, female. It varies according to age. So these are just general approximations. But what I meant to say is we follow science and we follow data.
Right. And
so what I'm trying to say is don't follow cultural norms, follow the data. So get yourself measured. But yeah, I get my protein sources.
Before I let him go into it, that's very important. It's very important. I just got off a coaching call with one of my clients, and I was telling her, if you're not tracking, you're slacking. If you're not tracking, if you don't have data, you are shooting in the dark. It's literally the same thing as driving at night and cutting your headlights off and trying to make it to your destination. Can you still make it to your destination? Possibly. Maybe you get into a wreck, more than likely. So you wouldn't drive at night with your headlights off. You wouldn't just shoot in the dark without being able to see where you're going. You wouldn't start in California and drive to New York without a navigation system. So why are you not tracking your calories? Why you are not tracking your protein? Why are you not tracking these things and then crying about you're not getting results? Right? I hear it all the time. So what I was telling my client was, you have to track. You have to. Yes, there are outliers of people who get results and they don't track calories at all. But they are the exception to the rule. If I didn't track my calories, I probably would still have a pretty good physique. I would probably still have abs. I've been doing it for so long, but I wouldn't try to make that the norm. Most people should track. Most people should be tracking their calories if you want to build an amazing body. If you don't want to build an amazing body, then don't track your food. Don't track your calories. It's fine. Have a beer gut, have a belly. It's cool with me. I got a 6-pack. All right. But if you want to build muscle and you want to burn fat and you want to be the most optimal, you have to track your calories. There's no other way around it. Right? You think Arnold Schwarzenegger became the best bodybuilder in the world, didn't track his calories? You think Michael Jordan wasn't tracking his calories? You think LeBron James ain't tracking his calories? Come on, let's be real. You think Serena Williams wasn't tracking? Come on, let's be honest about this. But what he's talking about is facts, though. I like this so far. Let's see what protein sources he's talking about, though.
From lentils, from pea protein, hemp protein. Those are primarily the major ones.
Gotcha. Lentils, pea proteins, and hemp proteins.
Yeah.
So you do a couple of proteins.
Man, look, hold on. Let's bag that back, because he basically said all the proteins that I use myself. So hey, where it go? Right there. So he said lentils, pea protein, and hemp protein. So that's very key right there. These three right here are key. If you're watching this and you don't know, you better be writing this down. This is key information. Lentils are super high in a amino acid called arginine and lysine. All right. Now, lysine is what produces protein synthesis. Right. Lysine helps promote protein synthesis. That's what starts the muscle building process. All right. So that's what lentils does. Pea protein is the highest amount of protein per cup. Right. And I use pea protein every single day. And hemp protein, right? Hemp protein has a complete amino acid profile. So you probably heard this before. A lot of meat eaters, a lot of so-called carnivores, they'll say that plants have incomplete protein. You can't get a complete protein from plants, except for hemp. Hemp protein has each amino acid in it. You can go look this up. You go look this up right now. Hemp has every single amino acid, which makes it a complete protein, which means if you wanted to, you can just eat hemp and get enough protein. But every other plant-based protein, you have to get a combination of different foods. So like rice and beans. Rice and beans is a complete protein. Wheat and beans are a complete protein. There's a lot of different combinations that you can do, right? But if you just want to eat one protein source, hemp and pea protein are super good, and they're a complete protein peptide. All right. So that's why he is talking about these three specifically. So he really knows what he's talking about. Like, you really know what he's talking about. Well, let's keep going. Let's see what he said.
Those are primarily the major ones.
Gotcha. Lentils, pea proteins, and hemp proteins.
Yeah.
So you do a couple of protein shakes every day?
I have, 2 a day.
2 a day.
Yeah.
And the rest is from lentils.
Yeah.
So this is chickpeas, black lentils.
Mm-hmm. I'll do some beans.
Beans.
Yeah.
This is primarily what we eat in India.
Yeah.
Because we have mostly a vegetarian population.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, if you enjoyed this clip from the Ranveer show, we've uploaded a ton of.
But yeah, I mean, I don't hear no cap in his rap. He was spitting some facts right there. He was spitting some facts. The amount of protein he get a day is super low. Like, he get 120 grams of protein per day. I want to make sure he said that. Let me go back to it. And I'm gonna go to another clip of his too, where he talking about like his day to day. I feel like it's quite interesting for me, at least.
That
you gotta think about it. This guy is a millionaire, and he's and everybody is attacking him. Like, I hear Joe Rogan attacking him, talking about, oh, he's gonna, what he's doing isn't good, but he's staying steadfast. Like, he ain't folding against the pressure. You feel what I'm saying? So that's why I respect anybody that does that, right?
Can be reasonable on the protein intake.
Let me see
200, 250, and metabolic health. That is enough for me to be consume 120 grams of protein per day, thereabouts. And that is enough for me to be top 1% optimal in muscle mass and cardiovascular ability and metabolic health. It is very common to think you need 150, 200, 250. It's not required. So I've demonstrated that you can be reasonable on the protein intake, have optimal biomarkers across the board. If, like, my son consumes more protein.
Yeah, so 120 grams of protein, that's pretty low. It's pretty low. But obviously he doing something right. I'm gonna show, like I said, I'm gonna show another video where he's like working out. Go over a few of his videos here. Christian said, do you have any book recommendations? Well, it depends on what type of books you're talking about. I have a lot of book recommendations. I read a book a week. I've been reading a book a week for the last 5 or 6 years. Yeah, it depends on what type of books. You see all these books behind me, right? You know what I mean? The China study is pretty good. This goes over, it talks about the the populations who only eat plants and how they're the healthiest. If you and it's a documentary on Netflix right now. It's called Blue Zones, and Blue Zones talk about what he talked about. But this book came out a long time ago. But the documentary called Blue Zones on Netflix, you can check that out. But China Study is real good. Another book that I absolutely love, I don't see it right here. Where is it? I was all the way here at the bottom. This one right here, Obesity Code. Obesity Code is amazing. It talks about intermittent fasting and how to lose weight the most effective way. So Obesity Code is pretty good. And I'll give you one more. I'll give you one more book. Let me see. Where that book at? I don't see it right here. I'm probably reading it. Right now. Yeah, it's called Fiber Fueled. I don't see it right here, but it's called Fiber Fueled. All right. So make sure you check those books out. I'll put them in the comments so you can Fiber Fueled. That's one. Obesity Code. That's two. And what else I had said? The China Study. Yeah. So yeah, if you read those three, you'll be 10 times ahead of the average person in America. You'll know 10 times more than most people know. But I mean, I get it. Most people don't even know the basics, which is fine. I mean, most people don't need to know that unless they are looking to get ripped. But yeah, if you read those three books, it'll teach you a lot about health. Fiber Fueled, very important. It talks about the gut microbiome. The author is very, very, very good author. Obesity Code tells you more about intermittent fasting and how to combine a plant-based diet or just high fibrous foods with intermittent fasting to get to your results. And the China Study just gives you an overall picture of why a plant-based diet is the best diet on the planet. Like people in China consume the less amount of animal products, and they're the healthiest. That's pure science. It's pure evidence. But you have people nowadays trying to debunk it now. Oh, the China Study skewers data and all this, but you read it for yourself. You let me know. Yeah, no problem, bro. No problem. If y'all have any questions as I'm live streaming, make sure y'all put it in the comments. I got your back, like chiroprac. Yeah, let's get back to it real quick. Matter of fact, I'm gonna go to another video of his, see what he's talking about. Would y'all like to see another video of his, see what he's talking about? I think that'll be dope. Let's see what we got. Oh, hold up. So this is another one of his videos. I don't know what he's going to talk about in this one, but
today we're going to talk about the 3 power laws of health. We are going to accomplish in the next 5 minutes the basic health habits that are going to make you feel the best you've ever done. I'm not going to get into the scientific details. I'm just going to tell you what to do, and you're going to do them because you know what? You know they work. Let's start. Number 1, you're going to reframe your identity that you are a professional sleeper. That means you're not going to sleep when it's convenient or when your show is done or when you're finished playing with your friends. You are going to set a bedtime and meet that bedtime every single day, and you're going to follow some health habits. So there's 5 things I want you to do. Number 1 is eat earlier and lighter in the day. So for example, if your bedtime is at 10 p.m., have your last meal of the day at 8 p.m., and then try 7, and then 6, and then 5, and try pushing it back earlier and earlier and watch your sleep improve. Find your right timing.
Yo, he coming out the gate with some facts. Like this is all facts right here. It's all facts. I just I did a 24-hour fast. I broke my fast today a little bit earlier. But whenever I fast, like I get the best sleep of my life. Like my dreams are so vivid. Like my dreams are, and when your dreams are super vivid, that means you're getting enough REM sleep, which is the most restorative sleep. But yeah, he telling the truth right here. Whenever I stop eating around 5 or 6, because I usually go to sleep around 9 or 10, I get the best sleep of my life. Like, I mean, and also if you're not getting enough sleep, you're not going to be able to build muscle. You're not going to be, because that's when the body rebuilds itself. So if you're not getting enough sleep, like you're cooked. Like you're cooked, you're filleted.
But you will learn that the earlier and lighter you eat, the better you will sleep. Number 2 is you need to have a wind down routine, which means your body needs to be physically ready to sleep. You can't just work up until the last minute, lay your head on the pillow and expect great sleep. The body needs to adjust itself from an aroused, high energy, ambitious state, whether you're socializing or working, to a calm down, ready to sleep space. Now you can fill this hour, where your wind down routine is going to be 1 hour from your bedtime. You can fill it with breath work, meditation, reading a book, going for a walk, but you need to be in a relaxed, calm state, screens off, getting your body ready. Number 3 is the lighting in your environment matters a lot. So turn off screens. I have a red light bulb in my house and a lamp. We just have red light in the house. It's amazingly effective at calming things down and making everyone very tired.
Boy, bro said he got a red light. Like this nigga is rich as hell. Like niggas say he got a red light in his crib. Like dog. Don't go to Amazon and try to buy a red light. I guarantee you it's expensive. You don't need it. I mean, I guess if you're a millionaire, you can do it.
Number 4 is consistency matters a lot. Your body loves routine. So if your bedtime's at 10 p.m., try to be in bed every night, plus or minus 30 minutes, no more. When you deviate, the body gets confused and you're not going to have sleep is your number 1 life priority. When you feel well, you're going to want to also exercise, which you also know from life experience. When you exercise, you feel great. So now you're going to start an exercise protocol if you haven't already, and you're going to do 2 simple things. Every day, do 30 minutes of exercise. And that can be something like swimming, running, biking, hiking. It can be strength training. That's a basic starting point.
There you go.
Now, of course, we'll jump into more advanced things in other videos, but it's really establishing the basics. And then 2 is you want to be moving throughout the day. So for example, every 20, 30 minutes or so, I get up from my desk, whether I'm standing or sitting, I'll stretch or I'll do a little exercise, I'll go for a little walk, but moving throughout the day. There's an infinite rabbit hole on what to do for exercise, and that's great. And we're going to cover it, yes. Also, the daily practice of being active in both an activity and throughout the day is the power law of activity. All right, number 3 is diet. Now, this is the most complicated of them all because I guess I speak from personal experience. Is food is a place we go to self-soothe, and it's also a source of addiction and all sorts of emotional problems. I have been there, and I know how complicated food is. I was trapped. And so the reason why it's number 3 is because if you're well rested and you exercise, we all know the feeling we have of wanting to eat well. So it's nice to have those 2 pillars in place versus if you're not well rested and you're not exercised, it's so much easier to be naughty. Number 1 is try to never rely upon your willpower. So if you have a particular risk zone, let's just say it's 7 p.m. that's exposed to, let's just call it cookies. Decide you are a person that does not eat cookies at 7 p.m. Because if you wait to make the decision at that moment, you will certainly eat the cookie. Now, that was true for me. So never put yourself in a situation where you're relying upon your willpower. Build systems and make commitments ahead of time. Okay, now number 2 is trying to avoid overeating. Now, I'll tell you from my personal experience, this is impossibly hard.
Yeah, I agree with everything he's saying. And I've seen a lot of his videos so far. I was looking for another one of his videos where he go through his daily routine. I feel like that'll be very insightful for people to see, where he just shows what he does and what he eats and stuff like that. But I agree with everything he's saying so far. I don't hear no cap as of yet. What supplements do I use? So let's talk about them. So basically what I do every single day is I take 2 supplements. Number 1, I do a B complex, right? So my B complex has B12, B1, B6. It has all the B vitamins. And on the contrary, me personally, I'm not a doctor. But me personally, I feel like B12 is overrated because every time I go to the doctor and get my blood work done, my doctor always says that my B12 is too high. So vegans are shamed into believing that we can't get enough B12, but my B12 is always perfect, right? So I don't normally do my B12 supplement every day because of that, but I do B12. Number 2, I do omega-3 fatty acid in the algae form. So you don't need no fish oil. Leave them fishes alone. Leave Nemo alone. Stop getting the Nemo oil. That's what I'm gonna start calling it. Nemo oil. Leave it alone. Get you some algae. You can do sea moss, right? You can do bladderwrack. You can do dose. Dose is another sea vegetable. You can do kelp, but I just do I do mine in the supplement form. You can just get some sea moss powder. Voila, omega-3 fatty acids. And omega-3 fatty acids is very important for brain health, but also for fatty acids are just important overall for hormonal production and hormonal balance. So omega-3 fatty acid and B12. And I do a vitamin D because as you can see, I'm very melanated, right? AKA black, right? And the reason why I do a vitamin D, even though I'm black, is because as black people, our skin, we need to get a lot of sunlight for us to be able to absorb vitamin D. And a lot of black people think it's the other way around because we're melanated. They think that we only need a little sunlight. No, we need a lot of sunlight. That's the reason why our skin is brown, because we were, Africa, right? Or whatever you want to call it. I'm not here to get into geography, but we need more sunlight. So if you're not taking a vitamin D supplement, you want to make sure you're getting at least 25 minutes of sunlight every day. And some days it's not pretty sunny here. Like if you're in California or something, you don't need no B12. I mean, you don't need no vitamin D. But if you're in New York or something, you definitely need it. If you're in Wisconsin, first of all, if you're in Wisconsin, I apologize, and I hope you get out of that place very soon. My heart goes out to you, but yeah. So if you're in Wisconsin, you want to make sure you take a vitamin D supplement. Okay. So those are the three supplements that you want to take every day. But it's not 100% necessary because you can get most of those things through plants. Walnuts, most nuts and seeds have omega-3, but you have to, eat a certain amount of them. But it's just easier to get them in supplement form. Yeah. So, that's to answer your question. Yes, sir. Let's see what he got to talk about. I want to find another video of his though, because I feel like he got some better content. Let's see. Daily routine. See what else he talking about. Yeah, this the video. Oh, my bad. I don't even got the screen shared. Don't worry. It's I got you. Let's see. Okay, there we go. Let me share my screen real fast.
Years ago, and today I'm. Hi everybody, good morning. I just woke up. I'm pretty sleepy. Today I'm going to do the morning routine. I did my first one 2.5 years ago, and today I'm going to walk you through every
Brandon, he's a millionaire, so you probably can't follow his morning routine.
2.5 years ago, I've become the most measured person in history. And I think the health markers we've achieved are pretty remarkable. I'm going to show you everything I do step by step. So let's get going. The first thing I'm going to do is use this Braun thermal scan device. I measure my inner ear temperature every day. I do this as a safety and efficacy check for various therapies we're doing. If I'm running hot, then we know it's an indicator of something. The temp this morning was 96. So my body runs around 3 degrees Fahrenheit, roughly.
And that's what I'm saying. Look, pause, no homo, but this dude is pretty ripped. And the reason why I'm pointing this out, pause again, is because he gets 120 grams of protein. 120 grams of protein. He's probably like 170 pounds. According to mainstream media, he should not be ripped. And that's what I be trying to tell people. Like, you can't be listening to these people who try to tell you that you can't get protein from plants.
Cooler than normal. Most people are 98.7 thereabouts. I run around 95.5 or 96. It's a result of my dietary protocol. Yeah. After this, I'll flip on this UV light. This is 10,000 lux at 12 inches. I turn this on, and I usually just enjoy thinking about the day for a minute. I just get a few minutes of exposure. I wake up normally when it's dark outside, so I can't see the sun. And so in place of the sun, I'll use this device. It helps set circadian rhythm.
Put it in the chat if y'all can hear the video.
After the light exposure, I'll take 2 pills. It's some heme iron, 10 milligrams of heme iron, and 250 milligrams of vitamin C. I'm trying to get my iron levels up. They're borderline. They're okay, just borderline. I'll weigh myself.
Okay, you about to weigh
every day.
I'm curious to know how much
weight, BMI, fat, muscle, visceral fat, water, bone, heart rate, and EVA. It also gives me the air quality in the area, and it gives me a hand waving. Have a good day. All right, then one final thing before we go downstairs. Going to do 5 minutes of light therapy. It's blue light.
You do too much,
it
dog.
Keeps my complexion clear.
Like
5 minutes.
Too much.
And it's also a nice time to do a little meditation. I'll focus on my breathing. All right, complete. Let's go downstairs. All right, one thing I've added to the routine lately is I do a meditation before I start this portion of my morning routine, about 10 minutes or so, and I've really started to enjoy it. I've learned a few different meditation techniques, but yeah.
Now, I do meditate every morning, though. I do that. I definitely do that. I pause.
Yeah, I do this for about 10 minutes. It helps me really settle myself as I get ready to go throughout the routine. Okay, now let's start the next part of the morning. My morning routine is about 3 to 4 hours. It varies on a given day. Sometimes I go a little faster. Sometimes I go a little slower. I always wake up naturally. So it's somewhere between 4:30 and 6 a.m. I wake up. I go to bed at the same time every single night. And sometimes I sleep through the entire night and I wake up earlier and I'm ready to go. Sometimes I wake up once and I have to go back to sleep. So that requires a bit more time, but I never set an alarm. I just wake up. Also, I'm being self-reflective on camera today. You know, I can imagine you viewing me and being like, this guy is nuts. Probably true. But, you know, the thing is, no one's ever tried what we're doing before. We're trying to basically measure every single organ of the entire body, and then we're trying to rejuvenate the age. And so every day when my team and I meet up, we're talking about, you know, the heart or the lungs or the pancreas, the liver. And so sometimes...
Yeah, that's what I meant. So that's the reason why I'm reacting to his videos right now. Number one, because he's vegan, and I find that quite interesting. But number two, he calls himself a longevity or body rejuvenation athlete. So he's doing all this to reverse his age. And he already has reversed his age, right? I think he reversed his age by a few years or something like that. But yeah, he's doing all these experiments on himself to reverse his age. And I feel like the reason why it's interesting to me is because he's doing it on a plant-based diet, which all these doctors in the world say that it can't be done. So that's why it's interesting to me. I'm not just randomly finding white people to react to online. Like, I'm just saying.
The analysis is we look at the data we've acquired.
That's why I'm reacting to
sort of assessment on the therapy, and then we implement it. But my job is to basically go through the whole process from identifying the organ to looking at the analysis and then incorporating it. So sometimes that's taking a pill. Sometimes it's putting a new device. Sometimes it's a new exercise protocol. Sometimes it's a new meditation practice. I now think of myself as a professional rejuvenation athlete. My life is trying to be the science. It's like being the entire process of the discovery and analysis to the implementation. And so I understand when people look at this, they're like, that's nuts. It is nuts. But it's exactly what's required in the year 2023 if you want to do this entire process, trying to look at every organ in the body. When you see my 3 to 4 hour routine, this is not something I'm trying to suggest you do. I'm just trying to give you context on what I do. And then you can hopefully pull nuggets from it here and there on what you want to do, but you definitely don't need to do the entirety of my routine. This is a little bit of a disaster, but let me give you a quick idea of what's going on over here. So you know, this is the device I use for my dry eye.
Yeah, I want to
30 seconds in the morning when I wake up first thing. So basically I start here on the right hand side and I organizes all the pills. In between that time duration, we change certain things. And when we change it, it's a manual change. And these manual pills become my responsibility. So when I pull out my pill tins, take the new manual I'm taking, and then when the 2-week time frame comes, they'll be incorporated into the whole process. Yeah, you can see we're about midway through the 2-week cycle. So I have about a week left. These are my upon waking pills. Okay, now I have all these pills ready. I'll do the Green Giant. Talmadge, I have this pre-mixed so that it's quick. I'll do 5 tablespoons. You see I move pretty swiftly through this thing. I don't know how many pills in here. I think last time we reported it was something like over 50, maybe 60. That looks like a lot more. So I'm not sure what's going on here. We have very little room for more before we need to change our pill tins. All right, that was maybe 5 or 6. I'll finish up with the morning pills down. Then I'll get the food prepped, and then we will go work out. Oh, prior to that, I'll use red light therapy. I started losing my hair in my early 30s. It's been a difficult thing. I've had to work really hard to try to keep a head of hair. And this is a useful thing. It's one of 6 different things I do. This is super veggie. This is what I'm going to eat after we work out. I rotate every month. 1 month puree, 1 month whole pieces. And the puree I find to be a lot, well, I like it for a lot of reasons. I know people look at it and they say it's a green goop and they like to make fun of it. It's really helpful to have it in this blended form, almost like a veggie hummus. Otherwise, when you have the whole pieces, it takes me over 30 minutes to eat. Yeah, overall, it's a lot of vegetables every month. It's over 50 pounds, I think, if you add it up. I'll prepare my second meal of the day, nutty pudding, while I'm here. 2 cups of protein, so 1 cup of blueberries and blackberries. I like my nutty pudding a little chalky. I go through these different phases and change it up, like the super veggie, the puree, and then the whole pieces. Same with nutty pudding. And I wonder how people in the future will look back at me. If they're like, yeah, you know, he was someone who made sense. He figured it out. Or if they're like, he was really off. The food's all prepped. So when we come back in, we're going to eat. All right, what I'm going through now is I'm going to work out pretty quickly. We only have 20 minutes to film right now. My workout is normally 30 to 60 minutes. So I'm going to go really fast. It's probably going to be pretty hard. I'll be breathing hard. I won't be talking much. But if you want to see my full workout, the link will be below. Yeah, let's do this.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of stuff that he does, I agree with. Of course, he does a lot of things that you can only do if you have millions of dollars in the bank, right? I'm not that rich. We're getting there. But I agree with a lot of stuff that he does. You know, he takes a lot of damn pills a day. But I mean, he's trying to reverse aging, right? So what he does is he has like a whole team of doctors, whole team of specialists, and they're looking at each one of his organs and telling him what he needs and what he doesn't, right? So they're looking at the lungs, they're looking at, you know, the heart, they're looking at everything, and they're telling him exactly what he needs, which I find kind of fascinating, right? But I find the most fascinating thing is he chose to do it on a vegan diet, right? And the reason why that's fascinating is because most people say that you can't you can't make it happen on a plant-based diet. But obviously, his doctors is telling him that it's possible. All right, so it's just a whole lot of propaganda out there. It's a whole bunch of bullshit, a whole bunch of people saying that it's not possible. You can't do this, you can't do that, you can't get protein. So I feel like this video is super beneficial to people who are not quite as equipped to knowing exactly what's going on. So hope this was some value. I found it pretty interesting. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I got any questions in the comments that I can answer real quick before I hop up out this thing? Time for me to go eat. You feel me? Or do y'all want me to keep going on the video? How much left it is? How much? Oh, I got like, it's a little bit left. So he did workout, then breakfast, a few more parts, but I feel like the bulk of it was at the beginning. Yeah. He's an odd character, but I respect it. I definitely respect it. You know what I'm saying? I respect anybody who's, into health and wellness and fitness. You know what I'm saying? Because we only get one body, and people wait too late. People wait too late to improve their health and wellness. They just wait too late until they have to reverse some illness, until they have to reverse diabetes, until they have to reverse heart disease, until they have to reverse these things, opposed to proper prevention. You can prevent these things from happening. But people are so lost into their own routine, in their own comfort zone, that they just choose to eat whatever they want. Most people just put anything in their mouth like a whore. All right. That's what whores do. You know what I mean? They just put anything in their mouth. I used to be that way. Now I treat food like fuel. You know what I'm saying? I still eat things that I want to eat sometimes, but like it just makes me, it's a lot of concern when I say that. I don't mean that to make anybody feel bad. I say that because it's a lot of concern, because I know what happens. I know what happens when you eat whatever you want and you don't exercise and you don't take care of your health. I know what happens when you turn 40. I know what happens when you turn 30 for some people. I got a partner. I remember this vividly, like 10 years ago. He was much older than me. He was just like turning 31 or something like that. And he had a heart attack. I remember this so vividly. Like, this is etched in my brain now. Like, I remember it because I went a couple like weeks without seeing him. The next time I seen him, he said, "Yeah, man, I was in the hospital. I had a heart attack." I was like, "A heart attack?" I'm like, "Dude, you 30." I was like, I was in my late 20s then, early 20s then. But he was like, I had a heart attack in his 30s. Drinking, smoking, eating fast food, eating stuff that you're not supposed to eat, And like, bro, like if I could, I wish I could snap my fingers and just everybody would have the discipline to eat what they should be eating and be healthy. If I could snap my fingers like Thanos, you know what I'm saying, I would do it. But it takes discipline. It only takes discipline for a short period of time. Like he was talking about willpower, right? You don't have to use willpower and discipline forever. It's only a short period of time until you build the habit. Once you build the habit, it's harder to not stick to the habits than it is to break the habits, right? So it's more difficult for me not to go work out now. I need to use discipline not to work out. I need to use discipline to eat donuts every day. I would have to use discipline to sit on the couch and watch Netflix all day. That would take discipline and willpower to do that. Like if I don't get my work done, if I don't wake up early, if I don't eat vegetables, if I don't do these things, it takes willpower for me to do that because I built the habit. And it takes about 21 to 45 days to build a habit. So if you do these things consecutively, and what does consecutively means? In a row. If you do it consecutively, you will build the habit and it's going to become easier. Okay. What age did I become vegan? So I've been vegan for 8 years. 8 years. And how old am I? Oh, that's the magic question. I might tell my age on a later date. You know, I might tell my age on a later date. But I'm getting up there. I know it doesn't look like it. That's the plants, baby. That's the plants. You feel me? But yeah, I've been vegan 8 years. I went vegan when I was, how old was I? Forgot. I have to think about it. But yeah. Yeah, I got any questions? No, I don't care. I'll go and tell my age. I'm 34. Yeah. Yeah, so do y'all have any other questions before I hop out of here? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, but I mean, it's all about making those changes. You know what I'm saying? It's all about making those changes for real. Like, if you don't make those changes, then you're gonna be stuck in that comfort zone forever. Forever. Forever, forever, ever, forever, ever. Yeah. That's exactly it. I'm gonna hop about this thing though. I've been on here for 51 minutes. Crazy work. Crazy work. The time just be flying when I'm live like this. That's crazy. I feel like I just got hopped on like 10 minutes ago. Yeah. But yeah, so a few things before I hop off. Number one, if you need help with intermittent fasting or going vegan, have a free intermittent fasting template in the description below. It's absolutely free of charge. Also, I have a lot of other free guides below. If you need help or you just need some tips, click the link below and you'll get sent to my webpage with all my free guides on there. And also, if you're looking to build muscle and burn fat on a plant-based diet, have a custom nutrition plan, custom workout plan to really help you accomplish your goals, and you're serious, you can click the link below and book a free consultation with me, and we can talk about it and see if it's a good fit for me to help you out as well. You know, you got to be willing to put in some work. You can't be lazy. You have to, really want to make your goals happen. But if that is you, then we can see if I can help you out. All right. So other than that, I'm out this thing, man. You feel me? I'm out of here. About to go get some food. Fuel yourself. Don't fool yourself. Remember, imperfect consistency outweighs perfect inconsistency any day of the week. You don't have to be perfect, but you do have to remain consistent. All right. Peace out. I'm gonna holler at y'all next week. Actually, Friday, because I was supposed to do this live stream Friday. So live stream every Friday. This is very, very late. So the next live stream is this Friday. All right. And also, if you want to be on my weekly newsletter, comment below. You get my weekly newsletter with free gifts and free tips in there too. All right. Peace out. Fuel yourself. Don't fool yourself. I'm out.